Hello, hello. Okay, today is Saturday, January 30th, and we have a lovely guest today, Samantha. But before we get started, I want to do some quick updates. So, this morning, right after this at 9 a.m. Eastern, we are going to have another Fit Party workout. So, Samantha, if you haven't been to one, you might want to join. And we are also doing a mini 5-day free challenge in the Fit Party Central group. So if you're not part of that, go ahead and join that. If you're listening to the recording, you can ask your coach or upline when the next couple Fit Parties are, so you can hop on. I think it's so much fun, and you're missing out if you haven't gotten on. So make sure you join us. We do a full workout, maybe like a 20-minute workout. And we share a little bit about what we do in our groups. So it's a ton of fun. We all get on there, and it's like one of the only times you can get all the coaches on at the same time. So you really get a lot of cheering, like, yeah, you're doing awesome. It's just very positive and uplifting. Anyway, let's chat a little bit with Samantha. I am so excited to have you on here because like you've been with me for a long time. When did you started coming to the size classes, right?
Yeah, that's how I was in a Beachbody group before then with my best friend's old college roommate. So before you, I had started a challenge group, I think in 2016. And then, yeah, you taught the size classes, which I loved, and I was obsessed with those. And then I joined your Beachbody group.
I forgot
So yeah,
about that. We're gonna have to have some
so
comparisons.
2016, I think was my first Beachbody group. Yeah.
That's awesome. I miss teaching size, but I don't miss having to leave my house to teach size. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You do it on Zoom.
Well, yep, maybe. It's also not very lucrative, but that's but when I got pregnant, I did teach up to the end of my pregnancy, and then I stopped, and I was like, okay, I need time as of the essence, and I need to make my time worth everything I do. So okay, so tell me, what we're going to talk about is after your fourth baby. So after I got pregnant, I'm like walking, I'll never forget this. I'm walking in the grocery store. I think it was at the grocery store I saw you, and you're like, did you tell me at the grocery store, or you told me beforehand? I don't remember, but you told me you were pregnant with your fourth. I'm like, no, you're not. And you're like, yeah. And it's funny because somebody else in our challenge group got pregnant too. And then somebody else in our challenge group got pregnant, and we were all pregnant at the same time.
Yeah. A lot of babies. Yep.
It was awesome. And then I'll never forget. I'm not sure if I sent you one, but I sent everybody like a mom t-shirt. Did I send you one? I'm not sure.
You did. Yep. Mom to the fourth power.
Yeah, I love that t-shirt. I
Yep.
think it's so cute. Even if you don't wear it, it's just so adorable.
Yeah. I always wear it. Love it. Especially now, like I'm so, in relaxing clothes all the time. So
yeah, it's definitely a dress down shirt. So tell me a little bit, just tell me a little bit about what, so it's been a while that you were like, oh, I'm going to join Beachbody and everything, but tell me what made you get into it in the first place.
Well, originally it was, I liked working out, and my best friend she's like, let's just try this, this challenge group. I'm like, okay. And it really was the accountability. Like, you have to share your sweaty selfies and all that. And it really helped motivate me to do, to want to work out and definitely share that experience. And doing it, with my best friend was also, motivating as well. So it definitely, the accountability part was like what I needed, because honestly, to get to a gym for me was just, too much to squeeze in the time. And even with one child, like I rather just be in the comfort of my home, wake up, roll out of bed. And so, yeah, I would say the number one motivating thing is the accountability and seeing everybody else's posts. And, even though I've been slacking posting lately, but I am working out still.
You are. And listen, posting, sometimes I feel like we start participating in the group when we feel like we need that extra, like, you know what, I'm slacking, I should probably participate a little bit more to get myself back on track. You know what I mean? Tell me, you have 4 kids at home now, but you also work full time and
Yes.
you are super inspiring. So like I love the fact that you're beating, well, I hate the fact that you're beating yourself up over not posting, and yet here you are teaching from home with 4 kids at home, learning at home. Like that is, you literally have one of the hardest
Well,
jobs
I
right now in
can't
the
say they're
world.
learning at home. They're not learning at home. My
Oh,
kids
okay.
do go 2 days to school. I don't teach them at home anymore. Oh no, they go the other 3 to daycare. So
Oh,
I
perfect. I'm
can't
so glad
do
you
what we
did
did
that.
in March. We were all home in March, from March to June, and that was really, really difficult. But I wasn't teaching like as much live as I am now. Like now I'm on the computer all day long. So there's no way I can have kids home. I even had the baby home in March. So that was, crazy. He was all over the place. So
I can't imagine. That was insane. And I'm so glad you have the kids in daycare now. So that's so helpful.
yeah,
Tell
for
me,
sure.
what's your life is obviously super busy. So tell me a little bit about your schedule. How do you fit in working out every day? What do you do? What's like, give me a minute by minute.
Well, be, okay, before COVID, it was a little bit easier. You want before COVID or during COVID? You want now?
Give me both.
Okay. Before COVID, like when we were out the door and, everyone was off to their own place and I was off to work, it was like a strict, usually in the morning thing, set my alarm, get up at 5, before work, I would do it. And that was the only real time that fit the best. Otherwise, it was at night. And I just want to be done at night. So I like morning workouts. So that was, workout, shower, get the kids ready, get everybody out the door by 7:15 to be where we needed to be. So chaos, but I had my morning workout, which worked. Sometimes the baby would join me, but I like that. Then teach, this is when I was going to work, teach and whatever after school stuff I had. When before COVID, I tutored like 2 days a week. So that was good. Pick up kids from daycare, dinner or after school activities. And so if again, dinner is a downfall on our part, really, because I usually don't plan ahead, or prep meals before, except for lunch. Like going to work made me prep my lunches. And so that was good. Usually, a salad and a yogurt and a piece of fruit. But then dinners, it was, we're pretty healthy eaters, but when you don't really plan ahead, it doesn't help. And my kids eat nothing. They're so picky. So we wind up making 2 separate meals, which, is a bad habit on our part. And I forgot, mornings, I usually make my shake. That's like, I can't live without it in my coffee. So that was before COVID. Now, during COVID, I set my alarm to work out, but in the back of my mind, I know that like I have my lunch break. I have like right after school before I pick up the kids. Or even like if my husband drops the kids off, like before I log on to teach my students, I had, especially doing the Shaun T 20-minute workout, I could squeeze it in like anywhere, like I just run onto the computer, like after my lunch break, all sweaty and a hot mess, or before. So again, it's not consistent now with COVID, but I do get it in every day. Usually it's either, like I said, mornings or my lunch break, which is like 1 o'clock. So in there. Shake is every morning, and sometimes hard-boiled eggs, or sometimes usually it's just the shake. I'm so busy like that. My shake is usually around 10:15, which is late. Like I should probably eat before then, but I've had 2 cups of coffee in between. Yeah, and so the other bad thing about being home, my husband's teaching, working from home as well. So we're always like, what do you want for lunch? Like you pick, I pick. So it's usually, usually we make a healthy choice, like a salad, but salads from elsewhere aren't always the healthiest. But I think it's like
Mm-hmm.
the healthier option. Um, and so on Mondays and Tuesdays now, my older 3 go to school on the bus. So I get them on the bus, and then I start my teaching day, get them off the bus around 3:30. have a little bit of in between time before I get the baby from daycare, usually by like 5. And lately we've been doing Hello Fresh meals, which again aren't the healthiest, but they're planned. And that's exactly what we need. Like literally everything's like in the package on the recipe. And like, that's what I need, because otherwise we skipped it this week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go to the store. I have to
All
think
done?
about what we're making.
All right. Now I'm gonna have you do sideways. You're gonna step.
Yeah.
You're gonna take-
Hold on. Somebody's not muted. Okay, there we go. No, I honestly, it's first of all, Samantha, we got to work on you being excited for yourself and proud of yourself instead of saying, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. I think
No.
you are doing an awesome
It's
job.
true.
So for the Hello Fresh meals, I think actually there's a bunch of people that I know who have been getting great results by eating Hello Fresh meals at dinner time. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you can pick the different things that you want, and you can stay within calorie range too, and be as healthy as you can without preparing your own food. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As for lunch, I can
like
100.
You admit a lot of it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What were we gonna say? You go. Go ahead.
All right, fine.
I did pick the calorie fresh meal, the calorie whatever meals, and still when I look at them, I'm like, woo. But again, it's the other difference is it's like portions. I look at it and I'm like, whoa, before this Hello Fresh meal, this would be all mine. Like I like to eat like seconds of things. So at least that part, it's a little bit of a smaller portion than I would probably normally eat. I can't go back for seconds because it's just one for me and one for my husband. So that's that's a good thing for that.
It totally is. I know there's a delay between our videos and sound, so we're going to end up talking over each other a little bit. Sorry about that. But anyway, I was going to say your schedule is so relatable to everybody who came home from work now and who's working at home is like hitting the same wall that a lot of, and I'm not saying I'm not saying your jobs are the same, but stay-at-home moms, they were working full time and they had a schedule where they had to go somewhere and come home from somewhere. And when you have that start time, end time, and you're driving, your schedule, things line up with that. Like, oh, I leave at this time, I come home at this time. And then when you're home all day, all of a sudden your schedule changes and there's not as much structure. You're still working, like you still have a work schedule, but there's not as much structure in this transitioning. And so we tend to just say we'll do it in an open slot, or we'll do it in, and I'll tell you, after coming home from working full time and then being home, it took me years to realize that, no, I got to get my workout done in the morning or else it just doesn't happen. Or I feel stressed throughout the day when I push it off because I'm like, oh, I can do it later. Oh, I can do it later. And then I come to like 8:00 at night and I'm like, there is no way in heck I am getting a workout in right now. And so I've realized I don't care if I'm home all day, and now I work from home also, but I have to get it done in the morning. So kudos to you though for figuring it out as to how, when to push it out later. I just was the type of person who just didn't do it then. I'd push it off and be like, yeah, never mind, I'm not doing it. So, we have someone else.
That happens sometimes, definitely. If you don't get it done in the morning, it definitely happens where it doesn't fit in. But and I love the morning workouts because you're just done. You're done and you feel accomplished. Like, it's like, all right, one thing down, it's done for the day. I don't have to worry about when I'm going to squeeze it in. So morning workouts are definitely the best, but I've totally been, one of the reasons I've been slacking more is because my son wakes up at like 5:00 every morning, 5:30. His room is like attached to my husband, our room. So like now he knows and he calls and he calls and he calls for me and I try to ignore him. So now the routine is I get him out of the crib and he comes in bed. If I move or leave, he cries and wakes up the whole house. So I'm kind of like a prisoner. And so I've been trying to like now work out in my room. Like I use my phone and like, he lets me do that if he could see me. Like he's so attached to me. So that's why I've been slacking in the morning. he wants me to lay with him and watch Blippi all day and like all morning. No.
That is so cute. I am so lenient with my fourth child. It's horrible. It's really bad.
You know, and it's like I say we never had our kids in our bed, but and this he doesn't sleep with us, but like he comes in our bed at 5:30, and I'm just like, you know what, he's my last kid. Like I just, you know, there's a little bit of a difference. And my husband's always like, he wants grapes, you go get him grapes, you give him grapes in bed, and I'm just like, I'm trying to not wake up the whole house.
I love it. We're the same way with our fourth. We definitely do things for him that we don't do for other kids. It's bad. So here's the deal. I'm going to share your picture really quick because I think it's very inspiring. So this is Samantha. This is after her fourth baby. And this is like 2 years ago, right? We want to say about 2 years ago. We think. We're not really sure on the date. Yeah. And then this is what she just sent me. And I was like, hot dang, Samantha, what the heck? So tell me, you have completed a lot of programs. You have stuck with Shakeology throughout the whole time. You are very good at just like picking and choosing your meals. Like when you were saying, I order in for lunch, but I try to pick the healthier thing. You don't go over, like you're in moderation. You know how the programs work, you know the nutrition, and you just try to stay in moderation. And I love that about you. You're very consistent, incredibly consistent. What are some of You're welcome. So what are some of the, like you've done a lot of programs, what are some of your favorites? What are your go-tos? Because you're super, super busy and sometimes you just have to get a workout done, right? So what are your go-tos?
I love Shaun T Transform 20 because it's 20 minutes and it's hardcore. Like it's crazy. But that one definitely always aggravates my knee. So now I'm doing it without the step. Hold on. Guys, Ella, can you take it? Yeah, so that's a go-to because of the time. You know, I like Morning Meltdown. That's a good one. I've done bar a couple times, maybe 3 times around. Yeah, I mean, I also did this over the COVID. I did T25, which was like a blast from the past. Shaun T's, that one is another hardcore one. And it's funny to see him like looking so different. I love Shaun T. Like he's definitely one of my favorites. So I also was squeezing in one of his size dances here and there, like on a Saturday with my best friend, because we love that one. What else? I mean, I've done them all. My first one was on, 21 Day Fix on when I had like the actual CD. What? I don't know. Ask Ella to help you. Sorry.
Totally fine.
I've done the Chord de Force I liked. Yeah, I've done so many. I think I'm gonna try Muscle Burns Fat next.
Muscle Burns Fat is one of my favorite programs. I think you're really gonna like it.
Yeah, that might be my go-to one. My best friend and I, we try to like Zoom together and do it. You know, sometimes we're not on the same workout. But she was like, let's maybe try that. Although she's thinking about going back to 21 Day Fix because her the woman who babysits her kids, during the week just started the 21 Day Fix. And she's like, I don't know, there's something about that one. It's like the first one we did. And so I'm up for anything, I really like whatever. I've also done, which one is the Charlene? What's Charlene?
Charlene.
Yes. Which is the one I like?
Pio?
It's definitely an old school one. No.
Turbo
It's
Jam.
a lot of dancing. Yes, Turbo Jam. Yes, that
Turbo
one.
Jam and Turbo Fire. And I'm in love with Turbo Fire, yeah.
I think it's Turbo Fire. Turbo Jam is like the older one, right? A little bit like it looks a little like older.
Yeah. Turbo Fire is the newer one. I love that one. Tell me all together. So before even coming to Beachbody and using their workouts and their Shakeology and all that, versus after with Shakeology and the workouts and the groups, the accountability groups, how has it helped you in general?
Well, I mean, I definitely stick to it more. Like I can just know that I'm going to get my workout in because it's at home. I just have to turn on a computer, turn on a TV, and I can fit it in when it works for me, as opposed to having to get in the car, go to the gym. And I just wasn't really a gym person unless I had like a workout buddy. And, that was a little bit harder. And then once I started having kids, it was like, oh yeah, when am I going to the gym? It was more of like, I couldn't really focus on me as much, but now with this program, I could decide when I want to do it. It's a little bit easier to schedule in. And I feel like the consistent shake all the time, every morning, like I miss it. I look forward to it. And I just have a better mindset on food, even though I make bad choices. Like I know that I should make good ones, but it's just a whole different way of life, I think. I did the 21-day fix with the containers, but I'm not I'm not a planner. And like, so meal prepping and all that is my biggest downfall, but I know what I should be eating and stuff. So I definitely keep that in the back of my head and I try to make the best choices. But yeah, it's a lot easier to just be home and work out. I like it. I know some people need to get away and out of this chaos, as you can hear in the background. Sometimes like I watch you and you're doing push-ups with your son on your back and stuff. That's me. So but that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I love that your kids are in the background, by the way. I know you're looking a little annoyed.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. We're going to let you go so you can take care of him. And thank you so much for hopping on here. And we're done anyway. So
Sorry.
see you later, Samantha. Thank you.